Oh yeah, baby, I know it. Life can get hard, keep going. I just wanna be the one you need right now. Baby, would you turn and look at me right now? Me right now. What's going on? You can tell me everything that's going wrong. Only say the word will disappear somehow. All we gotta do is be right here.
So in fifth today I like to talk about the Xiaomi Soundmove. So this Bluetooth speaker is pretty cool because it has a very high quality build quality. I would say it's the best of this year of Bluetooth speakers. And it has something cool, it's tuned by Harman, but it's not like I like that necessarily, but it also has 3 EQs. And yeah, I do prefer maybe custom EQ so you can adjust things more on your own. But at least the 3 EQs, 2 of them are pretty good. And especially like there's the auto EQ, the balance EQ, and the clear and pure EQ. So the clear pure EQ, I will let you guys see an audio sample like after my talking, where you can see the difference between the 3 EQs, but the clear pure EQ, I really don't want to use. It sounds very flat. The treble is also somehow a little bit less there. It sounds very not great. Really more like mid-tones you hear. So with the balance EQ, it's a completely different story. It has a full sound, also bass performance, and it's really a balance EQ. It's really a balance between bass, mids, highs, and so on. But the auto EQ is completely different on the high levels. So it's really boosting the overall treble, and it also gives you a little bit more of a wider audio in my experience. Of course, it's just stereo, but especially on that auto EQ, it sounds like it's a little bit more in a wider sound stage. So it's really handful for outdoors, but also for a bigger room. So I'm not sure why they call it necessarily outdoor EQ, because indoor it also sounds very nice. And that's maybe the EQ I like the most. So yeah, the overall design, as mentioned before, premium build, metal around. You do have rubber underneath and on the sides, which I do like a lot because of the vibrations. So at least you can put it on the underside, but also on the side. So like this, in case you don't have enough room. And I do think that the overall layout of the buttons is also pretty cool. You have like the Bluetooth pairing button, volumes, a menu, Wi-Fi assistant button. Yeah, I will explain later. You also have like a button to disable the microphone. So if you have the microphone enabled and you are like giving it a command in Chinese, by the way, it really is activating some kind of Google Assistant. So as mentioned before, the Wi-Fi function. So the speaker is a Wi-Fi speaker also, but not necessarily for the music playback here in Europe. But you do need to connect it with the Wi-Fi, because if you don't do this, it doesn't work as a Bluetooth speaker. So this was a little bit of a painful thing, because the application for the speaker, because the speaker also only available in China, is only in Chinese. And you can use Google Translate, and I also did it. And after around 30 minutes, I was able to connect it with my Wi-Fi, even to find the custom EQs, which is also somewhere buried underneath 30 different settings. So it's a mess. And you can even pair it with a global app of MIUI Home, but then you don't have all those functionalities, including the custom EQs. So after the app connection and after tuning things up, I was able to use the Bluetooth. So the Bluetooth codec this device supports is AAC, so at least it's better than the normal old-fashioned SBC, which ABL still uses. And the overall performance, I would say, is pretty cool. And yes, it's not the loudest, it's not the most bass-heavy speaker, but as mentioned before, the 2 EQs, especially the auto EQ, gives you very nice audio. So without further ado, here are the samples. So we'll start with like an audio sample with all 3 EQs. And after that sample, all the samples will be on the auto EQ, because this EQ I personally like the most. Yeah, the balance EQ is also great, but it sounds a little bit too much muffled on some songs. So I decided to use the auto EQ, because then you have the most clearness, and then you can also hear the most like power out of this unit. Without further ado, here are the samples.
no other. You're like a song that I can play all day on repeat when everybody else gets so warm. I can feel it and I need it, and you got it. Ooh, 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 ooh. And you know, girl, I believe it. All I want is you.
Found someone to have some fun, but it feels too good to be true. This is long overdue. It takes time, but I'm so through with you. You're not mine, and I'm not yours, but I like the background noise. Won't you make it up to me somehow? Giving in is what it's all about. Just stay for a minute, unless you gotta go. I'm down to take it slow. Just take another minute and let this flow. Won't you make it up to me somehow?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. There's a war going on inside. Just to name a couple, I battle with porn and pride. And a persistent struggle, a reoccurring huddle. A prayer meeting with me and the Holy Spirit. Feeling free, but no, I'm nowhere near it. But thank God for his conviction. The awful part of me that made these others a suspicion. It called me into question. I confess my addiction. Know it's a lethal weapon. May compromise the mission. Being proselytized from this humanistic system. You think about that and tell me just what you envision. You think about crack and how it kept on calling Pookie. Feel that about sin. Feel like it's always trying to shoot me. But I help him work his aim to make sure he doesn't miss. I sell him the guns. Let him rock with the clips. I set myself up sometimes just so I repent. Keep walking with me, Jesus. You know I need your strength. Oh.
But the white walls are speaking. I know you're not meaning to. Leave me down here in the dark, but the weather won't listen to reason or you. Face down, I wanted to fly. Here now, I want you to try. Yeah, I've tried to work it out, but the lessons I'm learning, they won't let me live with you.
Leather jacket and you look so good. I swear you must be trying to hurt me. Got so excited that I showed up early. Build up my courage, let your smile convert me. Inching closer, breaking each of my bones. Yes, I'm nervous, so obvious. I hope you know it. I just wanna kiss you and you don't know how, don't know how bad, yeah. I just wanna
as mentioned before, this speaker is pretty amazing, really. And yeah, if it's necessarily because of the tuning by Harman, I'm not sure. It's just a very nice speaker. And especially the build quality and everything around it is pretty cool. It's just sad it's not global released, because I really would recommend everybody to get it if it was global. And the price is also alright. It's around 140 euros and it sounds expensive, but do keep in mind you get a very premium built speaker with a lot of functionalities. It's also normally a Wi-Fi speaker, which functions I can't really use now, but that has more to do with the regions where I live. So I live in Europe and not in China. In China you can use all those functionalities also with wake-up calls, even with timers, notifications and so on, and even through Bluetooth and Wi-Fi you can do different music stuff. So I mainly use it as a Bluetooth speaker, but if you are in those regions where the speaker is more supported, you can do a lot more. And I do think if you can enable the Bluetooth, the Wi-Fi connection in China with music, it could maybe even sound a little bit better. But don't get me wrong, it sounds very cool and very impressive. Really, Harman Kardon, Xiaomi, great combination. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and see you guys around.